This is the new Ford Puma EV, and it's the electric Ford that we've been waiting for. Specifically, the small, affordable, fun to drive one. No one does the B segment quite like Ford. They are the masters of this size of car. The petrol version of this car is the UK's most popular vehicle. So this little thing behind me has the potential to make quite a splash. Welcome to the new electric Ford Puma, and welcome to the Fully Charged Show.
Love the Fully Charged Show? Then join us live in Sydney in March, London in April, or Vancouver, Farnborough and Melbourne in September, October and November 2025.
Okay, I often caveat at the start of the videos that we don't have much time and it's going to be a bit of a rush. It's that on steroids today. We have 10 minutes to shoot this whole thing, A-roll and B-roll. For a little context, you're watching this video in early December. Currently, it's mid-October and we've just reviewed the Ford Capri. Didn't think it was very good. And they've given us a peek of this, maybe to soften the blow slightly. So we don't have much time. This is going to be a hasty, very preliminary first glance. But it's worth rushing because any excuse to talk to you about this very exciting vehicle, I'll take it. So what have we got? Well, we literally have an electrified version of the petrol Puma, the UK's most popular car in any segment. It uses the same platform as the petrol car, which means presumably all the electrical gubbins has been crammed into the nose. And we do have certain feelings about multi-energy electric cars at Fully Charged Show, but it's worth noting that the petrol Puma is commended by reviewers for its spaciousness inside. So one hopes this isn't going to suffer too much in terms of cabin space from the fact that there is also a petrol version. At the front, well, it's a Puma. This car was recently facelifted. This is the new face. It's got a closed off grille, of course it does, because it's the electric version. I'm going to say something that's going to really upset a very specific niche of car nerds. Do you remember the Jaguar CX-75 concept supercar? Anyone? No? Just me? Okay, fine. Working our way around the side, you can see it's a pleasingly compact thing. It's not teeny. This essentially replaced the Fiesta in Ford's model lineup, but it is the smallest car they make and will make for the foreseeable future, and it's pretty compact. I'll take it. Look, it doesn't have plastic black trim around the wheels. That's so nice to see. We don't know the exact battery size yet, but we do know it's going to have, quote, up to 233 miles of range, up to 100 kilowatt charging speeds. Pretty good. That's not just city car range. You can leave town with that. Let's have a little look inside. Inside, everything is virtually identical to the petrol Puma. Physical buttons on the steering wheel. Just gonna get the seat down into where I'd have it and show you that it is pretty. I realise what's going on here. This is not a real car, it's a model, so this is purely ornamental. I just tried to adjust my seat in a pretend car. I think I'd have figured that out from going on a few of these launches. Never mind. The main thing of note in here is there's a big horizontal touchscreen across the middle. The software looks very familiar to what we've seen in the Explorer and the Mach-E and the Capri, but just so nice to see physical buttons. None of that MEB stuff that really plagued the Explorer and the Capri. None of that here, because this is based on the petrol Puma. Only thing that's different in here from the petrol car is, of course, the center console, because there's no transmission, because it doesn't need one. So you've actually got a useful amount of storage there. Big deep storage bin just underneath the kind of main shelf as well, which kind of speaks to the fact that you're not suffering too much from this car's multi-energy-ness. Anyway, now this is important. We've seen some really compact but very spacious electric cars come out this year. I'm thinking of the Hyundai Insta, which is smaller even than this. So if I can't fit in the back of this, that's not very good. But I can. This is the impressive thing about the Puma. This is what all the reviewers talk about with the petrol car, is it is roomy for its size, even the petrol one. So that's good. Quite good room back here. I'm sitting behind myself, but this is one of my favorite things about this car. The boot is absolutely flipping massive. And that's partly because it's got something called the mega bin down here. So if I just put that back, that's a very adequately sized B segment car boot, flat lip, good opening. But down here, it's like Good Lord, I think I could probably get in that. It's absolutely huge, and it's easy to kind of hose down, so you can put your muddy welly boots in there, or naughty dogs, I don't know. I think the other thing that I'm really excited about with this car, aside from the fact that it's not massive, apart from the fact that it's probably going to be quite reasonably priced, is that the Puma is hailed as being really fun to drive. This was the trait of Fords for the longest time. They were the fun to drive option, and the Puma stands out among other B segment crossovery things for being really enjoyable to drive, having a bit of dynamism to it. Again, lacking on the Capri and the Explorer, so really hoping that we get that translated over to this electric Puma. Very excited about this car. I kind of think it's the electric car Ford should have started with, and it's finally arrived as their 4th model, but I'll take it. Prices, we don't know that yet, but we know that the petrol Puma starts at about 26 grand in the UK. If I were a betting man, I'd put this in the low 30,000s, which is going to make it competitive with things like the new Skoda Elroq. What do we reckon? Let me know in the comments. A very fluorescent green and somewhat overdue electric Ford Puma. Can't wait to see more of this car. They've finally done it. So there we go. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have been, thanks for watching. What did you say? Yellow? It's green, mate. Wee green, right?